Good morning, and welcome to Mrs. Bell's Sweet Treats and More. This is my YouTube channel. Today is Monday, and this is Monday Moments. Welcome to any new viewers. I hope you get to click on some links and take a look at some things we've been making. Today, I'm going to show you a really simple cheesecake bites. I've made this for my daughters. Oh my goodness. And for friends, it is absolutely the easiest recipe. The recipe includes a graham cracker crust, which you can certainly make yourself or just crush up some graham crackers. It's up to you. I'm making this super easy, so I'm wanting it done quickly, and I don't want to do a lot of prep and taking my graham crackers and crushing them, adding butter. That's wonderful when I have time, but many times I did not. So I just grab one of these, and it's any brand of a graham cracker crust. You can even use the, I think they have no fat. I've tried that as well. So I get one of these because our bites are gonna have a graham cracker crust. So cool, so cool. So I use one of these because I need about a cup, a half a cup, because I'm making a smaller amount. So I'm just using these graham cracker crumbs, so I don't have to do anything with it. I'm using a cream cheese. You can use Philadelphia, a store brand. It is certainly up to you. I've even used the no-fat ones. They work as well. Vanilla and Domino's or whoever's confectioner sugar you can find that's on sale. It's up to you, okay? I want to bring this over to you too because, well, we'll touch on that a little later. Let's get started. The first thing I want to do is open up my cream cheese, and I leave it. I keep it out for a couple hours or so. I usually, if I get up in the morning, if I'm going to make something using my cream cheese and I need it softened, I go ahead and take it out when I get up in the morning or when I'm eating breakfast, and leave it out for a few hours to soften because we want it to be soft. We don't want it to be clunky. So here's my cream cheese, and I'm going to put it in there. You need a beater, but you don't necessarily. Well, you can use a beater or a KitchenAid, or you can use a hand stirrer, depending on how soft your cream cheese is. I'm going to go ahead and use my KitchenAid. I remember when I didn't have a KitchenAid. I remember when I had to beat, as I have said in the past, my mom beat cakes 600, 800, 1,000 strokes for a cake. Yeah, and so when I started cooking, I would try to cut that down. But some things, especially when you need air in that recipe, you need air in that batter, you can't cut it down. So I'm glad for my KitchenAid. So that's my cream cheese. And then I'm going to add half a cup of confectioner sugar. I'm only using, as I said, a smaller. And I'm going to cream these two together. I'm going to measure. Confectioner sugar is very light, and it tends to move around a little bit. And sometimes when I've cooked, I've had cloud because of it. Because sometimes I have tended to be in a hurry. So I'm going to just get that in there, get it working. The cheesecake bites are so simple and delicious. I'm hoping it will become one of your favorites. I want to get my, see how even though this has been out a few hours, it's still a little clunky. So I'm going to take my time and get it whipped well, because I don't want cheese bites. I want cream cheese, cheesecake like bites. So I'm going to stir this. Oh, you can smell that cheese. and get it off the bottom. Remember, we want everything blended and well. What I like about this recipe is that it doesn't take any baking. And if you grab the graham cracker crust, you really have a lot less work to do. So I got it. Yay. The most work you're going to do is after this is firmed up, because we're going to have to, even though it's a quick recipe, you can do it really quick. The challenge is that you have to, it's going to have to be cold. So, so there we are. And I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla, which is about half a teaspoon. And the measurements are going to be in the link. Vanilla, something about that. So, now if you did this by hand, you wouldn't, you would stir it. Make sure, of course, that this is creamy. You want it to look creamy. You don't want it to look chunky with chunks of sugar and chunks of this, and you want all of that goodness in there. I'm gonna do just a little bit more, and then I want you to see what this looks like. Voila! I'm going to show you what this looks like. Let's scrape this off. It wants to stick because it's so thick, but it's not so cold. You can kind of see how it's moving around. I'm going to pop this little one here so that I can get my goodness off of that. Okay. This is what it looks like. It's nice and creamy. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it in this bowl, and I'm going to put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. The reason why is because we're going to roll this in our graham cracker dough, but we don't want, if our hands are on it, it's going to make it so soft that they're going to be more like lumps. And we do want it to kind of look like balls. And I found a way to mitigate that. So I'm taking this and I'm just going to sit it here and get all my goodness off of it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like in a couple of hours. I'm going to put it on in the fridge. I'm not going to put it in the freezer. I'm just going to put it in the fridge and let it get formed a little better, and we'll be back. This is what it looks like. Looks kind of puddingy. Looks like a thick pudding, but it's nice and soft. Okay, I'm put that in there until it gets a little firm, and then we're gonna build our cheesecake bites. See you soon. Well, we're back. And our cream cheese is formed, so we're going to get started building. I want to show you, we had this earlier, and you saw that I'm using a ready crust to make this really quick. You can certainly make your own graham cracker crust. I'm using the mixed berries. This is just for fun. I use a fruit cup with pineapple tidbits, and then I put some raspberries and some blueberries aside. I'm using a mini muffin tin because they're mini bites. You do not have to use the mini bites. I'm just doing this as a demonstration. You can certainly use the pie pan, the graham cracker crust, and go ahead and put it in there and do your thing. I just want to show you just some cool stuff. So I crunched up the graham cracker crust, and I'm going to just scoop some out and put it into the little cups. And I'm going to just pat them down. So I'm just pouring a little bit to put a bottom on this. Pull this over so you can see what I'm doing. Just a little bit. And it looks like a tiny little cupcake bottom. And I'm using the back. You can certainly use a spoon. You can even use your hands. And so I'm going to just go all the way around and do that. And you see you have quite a bit of bit of graham cracker here. So you're not going to be hard up for it unless you're making a whole lot of them. Again, this is just what I do. You certainly may want to do the whole one or use a regular muffin tin. You don't have to use this one, or use a pie pan and just do your own thing. Let me know how you do yours. So I'm just going all the way around. I think one of the things I've discovered about cooking, I used to want my food to turn out perfect looking. And sometimes it didn't look so perfect, but oh my goodness, it tasted so delicious. These little mini cheesecake bites are not going to be perfect unless you're perfect. Certainly you can do it perfectly. But I found that in life, sometimes just completing something sometimes. I used to want to be on the honor roll a lot, and I wasn't a lot. But I found out a B or a C can still get me there. So here are my bites, graham cracker bites, just graham crackers in the bottom. And now I'm going to take my scooper, and I'm going to take some, it is my plan, of this cream cheese and just start adding it to my cup. So I'm just going to add, put that down in there. And as you see, they're not perfect, but oh my goodness, the flavor doesn't know they're not perfect. I enjoy graham cracker flavors. I'm more partial to the honey grahams. You can use vanilla wafers. You don't have to be stuck with using graham crackers. Some people use Oreos. It depends on what you like, what you want to try. You can put them in if you have a food processor, or if you just want to put them in a bag and crush them. Feel free to do that. I took some berries. You may have some berries around in the house, in your fridge or in your freezer. If you got some, go ahead and I leave them frozen because I want it to be cold. And I just add them to the top of this. I found that this can also, you can also use this with the, I don't know if you remember the dream pie we made. You can certainly put your fruit in it. Okay, so these aren't looking gorgeous, but they are our treats. I've put all the cream cheese in its different shapes. It's not going to be perfect. And I'm going to stick some of these, I'm going to put pineapple tidbits on. And I just had a fruit cup with pineapple tidbits, and I just took those and drained them and put them in there. And I also have some raspberry and blackberries. So I'm going to put that. Uh-oh. Just to show you that you can take what you have and work with it. And then I have some tiny blueberries. So I'll put just a few of those on top. And I got these out of the freezer section at the grocery store. You can certainly buy the fruits separately. So and the last thing, I got a little bit there, I'm gonna put that for adding here, is I had some raspberry raspberry jam. And I have this from my raspberry bars. So I take a little bit of it and just put that on top of my cheesecake bites. Now, the other thing we can do, put this aside, is take some of this, and it does get soft really quickly, and put it in the graham cracker and let it pick up the graham cracker. And just put those aside. Make some little bites. And they're not altogether circular, but they're certainly delicious. This makes not a lot, but it makes enough of a treat that you may get to share. So these are our bites. And I'll put, these are the tiny ones we put in the muffin tin. And then we have the regular bites. And we put a little bit I like graham cracker top and bottom on mine. So I just wanted to show you that you can make these little bites. They are delicious. And we have pineapple, we have raspberry, blueberry, we have just the regular bite with some raspberry jam on top, and then we have graham crackers on top, and then we have some smaller ones. These are the actual bites that are not circular. They're more of our creation. Well, that's it. This was a fun recipe, and it's very, very easy. It's only about 4 ingredients, and I added berries and fruit. You don't have to add any of that. It's good by itself. You can add your own graham cracker crust, make it, or use what's at the store. Together we can do this. I hope you get to enjoy and make this delicious treat. And I'm gonna eat my piece right here. 4 ingredients. Wonderful. Enjoy it. Enjoy your week. If you do something different, let us know. I really want to know. And I want you to do you. This is your Monday. Do with it what you will. Enjoy it and make sure you have time for yourself in this wonderful winter season. Have a good one. Bye-bye.